Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Jen with one N. And if you're like me, you're watching Atheist Edge.
Carl Merritt, the liberal atheist comic. You are back with a vengeance. Coming off a really good, successful first produced video on your channel. And what was it about?
What more can I say? We top billing it. This is the first video that we did in a series that we're calling Cringe-tastic. And the first one was 5 reasons why Mother Teresa was cringe-tastic. And I'm hoping that everybody that's watching today will take a look at it and take the time to give us a comment. Let us know about what you think of how we put this video together and what subject you'd like to see us hit in the future. It's also helpful to us if you'll go ahead and subscribe. That way we can build up a subscriber base so that we know we're going to have an audience for this when we do the next one.
I have 3 questions. Boom, just appeared. Just since you were talking. If I can remember them all. First, hit the bell for notifications on his channel too. Don't just subscribe, so then you can get notifications for upcoming videos. Speaking of upcoming videos, the Cringe-tastic's great. Well, I'll just hit this one first. This one is, I have a recommendation for the next Cringe-tastic, if you don't already have one, is Mahatma Gandhi. That racist piece of shit needs to go down hard. So if you don't have him in your sights on him yet, consider him.
We definitely have him. We also have someone that you probably haven't heard of, a narcissistic businessman called Donald Trump. He might become president of the United States. We're also considering the Dalai Lama.
Okay, well, I'll get to that in a
Just
second.
because.
I do know one thing about him that is troublesome. What was my third thing I was going to say to you? Hit the bell for notification. Oh, and the link to that Mother Teresa video will be in our description section. That's the other thing I had to say. Now, Dalai Lama. The only thing troublesome I know about him, the current one, is that he says he has openly, publicly admitted that he wants to be the last Dalai Lama. He doesn't want there to be any successors. He's breaking tradition. Have you heard this?
Sure. He also...
That's a power grab in my mind. He wants to live on after his death as the last Dalai Lama.
Well, he said that. He also said if the next one, if there is another one and it's female, essentially she's got to be a looker. Because no one wants to
I remember that.
I know. It's just ridiculous.
Okay, don't give too much away. You'll watch the video when it comes out. In the meantime, he's got a great... he's a comic, he's a comedian. There's only one set on your video. I don't know why. You need to get out and get some more gigs because people love that shit. How many? You got like close to 4,000 views on that first one. So please do that too. That's how I found you. You're a diamond in the rough. So please continue that whole aspect of your channel as well. If you have time, I know.
It's so funny because the way that you and I met, you couldn't have known this at the time, but I had just been fired from a show that I was doing. It was a private show. And after my first set, they fired me from the second show, which is not terribly life-affirming, but, you know, who cares? And then the next day, you had seen the video of the stand-up that I did over at the Improv, and everything changed once I came over here and got on the show. I used to be Carl Merritt. Now I'm the liberal atheist comic. I've gone full in on this. There is no coming back from this one now.
I'm so sorry to put you on this path towards, they say YouTubing and poker are the easiest ways, the hardest ways to make an easy living. You're going to put so much time and energy for not much monetary reward. So just so you know. So I apologize in advance and don't attribute that twist of fate, you getting fired and then me, noticing you the next day. Please don't find Jesus because of that. That wasn't divine providence, just so you know.
He's lost again?
Anyway, to the video.
Let's do it.
This was several excruciating minutes timeline of every time Islam, sanctioned by Islamic government authorities, murdered, bounties on their head, murdered people for the act of drawing a picture.
The deadly assault on the offices of Charlie Hebdo in Paris is the latest in a long series of threats, plots, and attacks in response to controversial cartoons. In 2005, a Danish newspaper published a series of cartoons, some depicting the Prophet Muhammad as a terrorist with a bomb. In response, an Egyptian newspaper reprinted some of the cartoons and called them a continuing insult and a racist bomb. Ambassadors from 10 predominantly Muslim countries also sent complaints to Denmark's prime minister. Months later, a Norwegian newspaper published the cartoons.
It's so ridiculous how anyone is going to get so butthurt over seeing a comic is just beyond my comprehension. And, you know, to me, I don't even know why you're pissed off about it. But beyond that, when you start firebombing buildings, when you start sending gunmen into a publisher and murdering people, I don't see how you can possibly think that this is going to benefit your public image. People are just going to think you're as crazy as you are.
In response, Saudi Arabia recalled its Danish ambassador, and Libya closed its embassy in Copenhagen. 4 months to the day after the cartoons were first published, gunmen attacked the EU's offices in Gaza. The Danish paper apologized. Then papers in France, Germany, Italy, and Spain reprinted the cartoons.
For those of you that think this is an extreme minority in the Islamic community, bam, right behind us. Now you're looking at stats. The reason, I already know what's behind me because I've already got them downloaded. This shows you that not just an extreme minority, but an actual majority of people that follow Islam, and I'm trying to be very careful in how I word this because I don't need Ben Affleck and I don't need Reza Aslan to tell me I'm racist, because this is not a race issue. This is an ideology issue. These stats behind me right now prove that even if you follow Islam, you might not be willing to strap that vest on. You might not be willing to shove that IED into that spare tire on the side of the road or that dead sheep, all right? But you will give money, you will give support, you will condone the actions of those. It's a hard truth. Here I am saying it. I'm going to speak just for myself. I'm not going to speak for the other 3 hosts of Atheist Edge, but I'm telling you, Islam itself is a poison. The entire ideology. Don't just read the Quran. Start with the Quran. Start with Surah 9. Then go to the Hadiths. Go to the Hadiths that the Sunnis and the Shias both share. There's about 6 of them. Read those. That's where it starts getting really gruesome. And you'll see the true face of Islam.
Ben, when you're starting to get stalky again, it's Jim. I said nothing about this. You just need to stay away from me.
Demonstrations erupted across the Middle East. On February 8th, French magazine Charlie Hebdo published the cartoons, alongside other drawings. Then French President Jacques Chirac called the decision overt provocation. Massive demonstrations continued. A leading Iranian newspaper launched a competition asking for submissions of Holocaust cartoons. In 2008, Danish newspapers also republished one of the cartoons. This one day after police arrested several people suspected of plotting to kill the original cartoonist.
See? See how careful? Comedians are very careful. I've seen comedians where Christianity sucks and Islam may or may not be true. And everyone laughs because they see that he's going out of his way to be careful, talking about Islam, and that gets a laugh. But that's as far as they go. They do it for that laugh, but that's as far as they go. How many openly anti-Islam comics are out there? That might be your niche. I'm not. Do you feel like getting gunned down or stabbed? I don't know. But if you do, there's a niche waiting for you.
You are big pimping with the LAC right now. I don't care about any of this stuff. The joke about Ben Affleck being stalky, none of this makes any difference to me. I've had people come after me in the past. People will come after me in the future. But crazy is crazy. And I don't care,
Thank you.
Whether, there's some crazy atheist out there. The woo-woo atheist, I don't even know where the hell they come from. But
how many are going to bury a dagger hilt in your back, though? I don't know.
I'm not popular with a lot of people. So
Is it Vincent Van Gogh's great-grandson, Theo Van Gogh? Was it his great-grandson?
Yeah, murdered on the streets.
And not just stabbed in the back and left for dead in the snow, but a note attached to and a list of all the people he's going to do next. And guess who was on that list? She took Christopher Hitchens' place as one of the four horsemen, Ayaan Hirsi Ali. So that's why she's in hiding now, along with who wrote Satanic Verses? Salman Rushdie.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro. It's too easy to find out where I live. You can do what you will. Don't harm my family, please. Just come get me and see what you can do. My second book, the reason I wrote it under a pseudonym, I wrote that book originally under a nom de plume. I'm out now. I don't care. It's got depictions of Muhammad on it. In fact, it doesn't just have depictions of Muhammad. It's got depictions of Muhammad forcing himself on his 9-year-old newlywed wife. So, come on with it.
Forcing himself? You really don't think she wanted it?
He waited till she was 9 before he what's when you do the marriage? Before he consummated, he married her at 6. He was good enough of a man to wait until she was 9 to consummate the marriage. Isn't that really just good of him?
The story is, and again, I think I read this somewhere, or I'm just making it up, that although she was 9 years old, she had the body of a 7-year-old.
That is messed up on so many levels.
You think?
And it's so liberal atheist comic, yeah.
2 years later, a knife and axe-wielding intruder entered the Danish cartoonist's house. He was shot by police. And in 2011, Charlie Hebdo's Paris offices were burned after they showed an image of Muhammad on their front cover. The magazine again depicted Muhammad on its cover in 2012, and a cartoon inside the magazine showed Muhammad naked. In response, the magazine was sued and its website was attacked. France closed its embassies in 20 countries. Then, in 2013, Charlie Hebdo released a 65-page illustrated biography of Muhammad. The editor called it perfectly halal. Months later, gunmen waged their deadly attack on the magazine's offices, killing its editor and more than 10 others.
As far as this video goes, it just goes on time after time after time where there will be some depiction, a comic of Muhammad, and people go crazy, insane over it, to the point of murder. When you're talking about going into an office building and murdering people over a comic, you can't ever have had any credibility with anything that you're talking about. It's just beyond the pale of any rational behavior.
And I don't want to see gun control comments in the comments section, because we're talking throughout that video. I might not have showed you all of it, but it was axe, it was knife, it was machete as well, not just firearms. So this was happening, and it's happening in Europe, all the way from UK all the way to the Middle East. Recently, you're from a part of the world that hosted a couple of years ago a Draw Muhammad contest day. Are you aware of this?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And I was just about 4 miles away from the shooting.
I was about to say you're in the exact town, and coincidentally, Aaron Ra is from the same town, so that's kind of weird.
It's literally around the corner from where I live.
Yeah, Tilden, go and look in about 1/3 of the way through. You'll just flip through all the illustrations, you'll see Aisha fighting off Muhammad, and she's about 9 years old. I heard, and this is pretty morbid, but it's kind of funny, and you being a comic might appreciate this, but
Lord,
I heard
this
Draw Muhammad Day, this was a contest to see who could draw the best picture of Muhammad. We know that 2 gunmen got shot. I guess there was foreknowledge that they were showing up. FBI and Dallas Police Department were there waiting for them, basically. So when they got out of the car with their AK-47s, started spraying, I think they wounded a police officer and maybe a security officer, and that's it. They could not get too many rounds off before they got gunned down in cold blood and done, all right? Right outside the Draw Muhammad Day. So I had heard that people were saying that the greatest piece of art that day, despite who won the Draw Muhammad contest, the best pieces of art that day were the 2 chalk outlines on the sidewalk. You gotta chuckle.
Yes,
you gotta chuckle.
And then it went south, and then it got nasty.
Hey, I'm a Marine, man. Anytime bad guys become room temperature, it's a good day. So fuck them. Sorry.
Yeah, it seems pretty implausible that they didn't know. I think they were being followed by some FBI. They had made the drive from Arizona, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
they drove all the way just to eat shit. Awesome. Yeah, so, yeah, even an AK-47, come to Texas. Come to Texas. And if that's how you want to protest, see what happens.
Can we do some more Cole Porter references? Go do that voodoo that you do so
That is
well.
Cole Porter?
Yeah.
Because when I added that to the Book of Job script, all I knew it from was Blazing Saddles.
You'll also do it, there's a reference, weirdly, in the Salt and Pepper song, Shoop.
Shoop. What? Yeah.
Here we go, here we go,
Here we go again. Girls, what's my weakness? Men.
All right, Den.
How do you even know what we're talking about, young guys? All right. Anyway, Carl Merritt, liberal atheist comic. One more time. It's in the description section. Just let them know one more time.
The name of the new video is 5 Reasons Why Mother Teresa Was Cringe-tastic.
You guys got to watch the production quality of this. It's better than anything I've ever. Only a couple times. Okay, there's 2 videos in particular that I worked on for 3 months or more. Single videos. That was The Problem of Suffering. It's a pink rose on the. And then prior to that, we did a collaboration with Seth Andrews. It's called The Emperor's New Holy Armor. Each of those took 3 months of production. That's the only 2 that can even come close to the first one you ever put out. And that's saying a lot.
This won't make any difference at all, never mind. I was going to say there's going to be an event talking about one of those videos tomorrow, but this will be on.
This will be a month. Yeah, the event he's talking about already happened. It's probably already on our channel. Chris is going to be giving a discussion to the Freedom from Religion Foundation tomorrow. It'll already be on the channel by the time you see this. So.
And ladies, you need to show up because word is, Chris is just hot.
The comment section.
The comment section.
Oh, one comment saying the guy in the glasses looks hot and he's going to get a big swollen head probably now.
So, you know him, you love him, you've got to have more of it. It's Chris.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye-bye.